and to have the insane turnout we've had today, over 150 entrants. And I believe it is time. Here we go. Reptale and Agnes against Whitewater Kids, MinMin, #1 defender, and 9,000 Hippos.
Already, I am hating MinMin #1 defender because I do not like that character. But I mean, in doubles, MinMin does a great job of just stage control and just controlling the pace of the match, especially with more characters on screen. There's more things to hit, more things to worry about, and just having those arms just for range helps a lot with stage control for that team.
And we're going to see what character 9,000 Hippos ends up picking. She often goes somewhere between Zelda, the occasional Mii Brawler, so not entirely certain combination for here, but I can definitely tell you which person the MinMin's #1 defender is.
I definitely think that like those characters that you mentioned, Peach and Zelda and the Mii Brawler, they definitely fill different niches pairing up with MinMin. Either for Mii Brawler going in for like quicker kills or Zelda for more zoning control. Zoning's always great in doubles. Right. So it'll be interesting to see what 9,000 Hippos on. And then Reptale and Agnes, not sure who they play either, but I'm excited to see what kind of combination they'll have cooking up.
As far as I'm aware, I do believe Reptale tends to be Cloud. Agnes, he plays Sephiroth. I have no idea if he'll go with that or Palutena in doubles. I think either.
Well, Cloud's a good doubles character. I mean, Bandit Smash 4 for double Cloud.
Yeah, that's true.
And just, you know, good hard-hitting character, very fundy, while also still having that cheese potential. So that's a very solid pick. Though you'll have to watch out. If it's MinMin, like, you're going to get edge-guarded pretty easily against that. So likely we'll have to keep in mind, Agnes will have to keep in mind their partner, just to make sure that they don't get gimped.
That's true. Very true. Kind of require having your head on a swivel for that kind of thing.
Which honestly you need in doubles, just with how crazy it is sometimes.
And I will be shorthanding. I'm not going to be referring to MinMin's #1 defender by that full tag the whole entire time. I will just sometimes be saying Revenge LD7 or Elf, and you are welcome to do.
I will probably forget that name before you even get to the match. I'll just say #1.
#1.
#1. That's all we need. I mean, you gotta shorten it as much as you can. I don't know. You want me to say MinMin?
I mean, it is MinMin.
There's MinMin, and what if she's not playing MinMin though? Like,
I mean, anything.
There's no MinMin on screen, or there's 4 MinMin.
That'd be really funny. I don't know if I want to see it, but man, it would be funny.
That would be torture. All right, yeah, classic PS2 starting things off today. As you mentioned with Clutch Up 2026, starting things off with the doubles, and then we'll have the singles later on today for you guys. So you guys want to stay tuned for that. But if
very much will, I promise.
Yeah, but if you're turning in early, you get to see some hot doubles action, and we can't wait to cast this for you. Looks like Reptale and Agnes are going for that Cloud and Palutena, as you mentioned before.
Yeah, I definitely expected the Palutena, given that probably the better doubles character here. And we will be seeing Zelda from 9,000 Hippos. Or as the tag suggests, 8,999 Hippos. Don't know what happened to the last one.
Well, the last Hippo is the actual, like, text, I think that's where the last Hippo comes from.
And here we go. We're heading into Game 1 on PS2, the very first double set of Clutch Up 2026.
Off here. I'm pretty sure they're going to try and figure out what the tempo is going to be for this first starting game. Looks like 1,099 Hippos. It's going to be 9,000 Hippos. Really going in heavy with the Zelda. I'm surprised I'm not seeing more fans. Maybe just trying to get something started.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting because those are both characters that kind of like the backlines a little more. You don't want to be scrapping so quick with either Zelda or MinMin. We're going to see one of them's going to have to go up close. They can't both be the backline.
Definitely. But I mean, Zelda does have some good first options like her dash attack or even the lightning kicks. Right. Potentially, if you get them started, it's just that you have to have them in the right place.
Oh my goodness, and the arm sending off into the lightning kick off stage.
And there's the fancy hovering edge right there, and Agnes tries to get back on stage. See them trying to figure out now as everyone's at high percents who's going to be finding that first kill in order to get them.
There's the straight back air from Agnes to take the first stock. There goes another. They're flying all over the place.
I mean, 1-1, still about pretty even. It looks like Blue Team will be making a little bit of a lead if they can get some extra credit started. It looks like Agnes is taking a little bit more damage quickly into the second stock now. And that might set, Blue Team for a little bit.
Definitely possible. We'll see how much percent they can get, because as the saying typically goes, there's no such thing as a big lead in doubles.
Yeah, things are very volatile in most double matches, especially with how many characters are going on screen, especially with some of these characters having high kill potential, especially like Cloud or even MinMin's Megawatt Hammer can just break up scraps.
There goes that first stock. Number 1 defender put up the stock count for momentarily at the very least.
About even on the percent, it really just matters if they're able to find something. You see kind of here, it's mostly just been MinMin's and Reptale or fighting each other, and then Agnes and 9,000 Hippos just kind of going back and forth on each other, seeing those two pairings been fighting that.
Yeah, it's interesting, and Agnes will fly off screen there, but none of these are amazing Zelda matchups exactly, but doubles mix is just such a more difficult conversation because MinMin's arms are flying in every other second. So what is the Zelda Palu matchup like when you had MinMin's arms in it? You never really know.
Yeah, you really can't, do anything because if you're getting Karma started, it can just get immediately broken by that like dragon arm as you're seeing right there. Just sniping from mid-stage. Ah.
Last stock for Agnes and Reptale.
That last stock on Agnes not looking too good, especially with how much damage they've been taking throughout this game right here. While MinMin's still hanging on to that second stock just barely, trying to get out a little bit extra damage and percent before they lose it.
There's a lightning kick. That is the last stock remaining now on Reptale. Well, 2 more to take. Took the first.
This is where it kind of gets tricky for Reptale because now he has to manage 2 different zoners that could easily go out and gimp him, especially with MinMin if she's playing at mid-stage like this, exactly just poking, getting extra and over. It's going to be really hard unless takes out, ooh, wow. Takes
the arm
out,
sending into the lightning kick.
Getting a little unhealthy. Just that stage control is so great for 9,000 Hippos in this. Here, they're just able to come from so much space that Reptale can't get his on the ground.
It's really difficult for a character like Cloud to handle 2 zoners at the same time, let alone 1. And that Megawatt arm will take game 1 for 9,000 Hippos and MinMin, 1 defender.
Very solid game starting out there. It seemed mostly even, but once they started to get their flow, the blue team just was able to control so much of the stage, and that was the thing that we mentioned before, is that just that stage control is so big in doubles because you get to dictate how you want the match to go.
Right, that's exactly right. And what we're also seeing is that MinMin is not afraid to throw out every arm at every possible second, and without that much fear of hitting the teammate. You saw several times when 9,000 Hippos was hit by a big arm, and it didn't really matter because if you keep throwing them out, you're going to hit the opponent more often than not.
Definitely, especially because there's 2 targets compared to the 1 of your team.
Exactly.
But you don't want to find those kills early, just because Zelda can be a little bit light, so she can hit by that Megawatt arm. She's going to go flying out of the sense.
You have to be careful with that, but it definitely seems that Agnes and Reptale still like their odds going back to PS2, game 2 here.
I like the juggling that they were doing today on 9,000 Hippos, like racking up early percent without letting MinMin get in and a little bit. So I think that having that lead starting out helps them out a lot here, especially with the low percents that they're keeping right now.
Right, exactly. And as I can tell you as a Zelda player myself, Zelda, when she by herself, the disadvantage is not super strong. But if that's something you can take advantage of and out of the picture, you'll go pretty far.
Definitely has a hard time getting back onto stage, especially with low airspeed. I'd say just, she has to like get out. She has to reset to get Phantom out again. Exactly. So that's going to be hard, especially with Reptale picking up the first kill on MinMin right here.
Exactly. I think they're targeting down the one that gave them more trouble this time. That's a wise strategy.
Yeah, you have to worry about that share stock, but at least getting those stocks out of the way while you can definitely helps out and doesn't allow MinMin to set up.
Yeah, much stronger start for Agnes and Reptale.
Right here, just a little bit more scrapping. Okay, it doesn't look like she gets the arm off grabbing her opponent, which is unfortunate, but that'd be a funny way to just get the stronger arm on the Dragon Arm.
And the up smash from Palutena catching both opponents at the same time. That's such a difficult, long-lasting move to do.
Takes up a lot of space, especially that Nair 2 just racks up damage and just controls a little bit of space, which helps out for Agnes and Reptale, especially because they're behind in game counts right now.
And when you have that up smash out, just throw the opponent anywhere remotely in the direction from the partner. All you have to do to get 20–30% off.
And here comes that strategy that 9,000 Hippos and MinMin really wanted to start out. You saw there they were doing some good safe mid-stage edge guarding, was able to pick up a kill there on Agnes, but they weren't able to find a kill on Reptale, and especially with how weak they are in percent, that's not great.
Right, and this is definitely, you've got to get that first kill stock out of the way somehow. But right now, it's definitely slipping away a little bit for 9,000 Hippos and MinMin #1 defender.
Definitely that change up in targeting helped out the yellow team.
Oh, and the Phantom hitting the teammate, that's highly unfortunate, but that's just the risk you take by playing Zelda in doubles.
I mean, you take the same risk while playing MinMin's.
Exactly.
I mean,
these are two characters that run that risk constantly, and it worked out well for them doing one, but right now it's biting him a little bit. Now it's last stock for both of them.
Right there, they do have some hill to like go up a little bit, but it's still possible.
Oh, it's
right
doubles.
here if they're able
Exactly.
to, if they're still able to keep stocks pretty healthy. Just that first stock for Reptale was so good, and really just downfall for 9,000 Hippos in there. Back and forth. Once again, it seems like they're just going to Zelda and Palutena versus Cloud and MinMin. I'm surprised we're not seeing it switch up as much, but I'm guessing that Zelda also, being up close to Cloud would be hard for her
And
to
neither of them
deal
are
with.
great, but that would definitely be a lot more trying to box with Cloud.
Definitely.
9,000 Hippos catching the teleport on ledge. Agnes slipped off. So this is definitely doable, even if they're both at high percentage. And there's a kill off the side. That may be exactly what they needed.
They need one more, but these stocks are not healthy. They have to get back to stage control,
Yeah,
and only
those 9,000 Hippos.
Yeah, only MinMin being alive, it's going to be really hard to get back. See here, Agnes and Reptale are taking over the same positioning that 9,000 Hippos and MinMin did in the last game. It's perfectly in that up smash like you were mentioning before. Just
exactly
covers
right.
so
Back
much
throw and
space.
up smash. That'll take it. We're heading to a game 3 here. The very first double set of Clutch Up 2026.
Very exciting to see. Wondering if we're going to be at PS2 stage again, or going to be seeing a change up in stages. It seems like it's been fairly even for the both of them, so we'll see what the blue team decides after counter picks. And of course, we didn't get to see. That's the thing. I always like stage after characters because then I have more time to see it. But we're like almost 10 years into Ultimate, and it is what it is.
It's crazy to say that we are almost 10 years into Ultimate at this point. But here we go now. Game 3. Once again, sticking to the guns of PS2.
Oh, immediate grab out of the starting gate right there on MinMin, but she was not able to get that upgraded Dragon Arm. I don't know what happened. There was a little bit of a poke that let Cloud get out of it.
Very fortunate in that sense. Now we're going to see 9,000 Hippos trying to just keep both people off of her.
That's going to be really tough, especially when you don't have your feet on the ground. Getting comboed into the explosive flame by your teammate, unfortunately. 9,000 Hippos will fall quite early compared to the rest of the players on this battle.
Definitely not what you want to see. You're going to have to try and take a stock as quickly as possible to try to keep one within reach. You don't want to have what happened last game again where you're behind the whole time.
Seeing right here, 9,000 Hippos really trying to at least find a kill either on Reptale or Agnes now that they're at these higher percents. Being off stage again, trying to land, is going to be a little bit difficult here.
So there's a kill from MinMin's #1 defender. Reptale's first stock is down. Agnes's is pretty high as well.
Hope from MinMin. With that up B, it will be back throw, not quite killing
enough
her.
yet.
Yeah, getting the upgraded Dragon Arm is very important. especially if you want to poke and kill potentially early, but it will be Reptale taking the kill on his teammate with that missed dash attack.
Unfortunate timing on that one, but we're going to see if 9,000 Hippos and MinMin's #1 defender can capitalize. Instead, the stocks have now been even with pretty high percentage on 9,000 Hippos who will almost die from her teammate's arms.
Just a little bit more. I mean, that warrior not quite killing, but I mean 9,000 Hippos is in trouble, and you see here Reptale is keeping MinMin occupied so that she can't help her team.
And very unfortunate in that 9,000 Hippos threw out a Din's Fire in an attempt to help her teammate out, but her teammate instead rolled back into it, and now will get back thrown by her own teammate. And this is a rough case of friendly fire right now for 9,000 Hippos and MinMin's #1 defender.
Definitely been really bad on both sides, I think, between these last two games. So a lot of like team kills and team hitting. And I think that's just because of the mixed up nature that Agnes and Reptale did at game 2 to mix up their game plan, which kind of threw everything out of the water.
It's the last stock now for 9,000 Hippos and MinMin's #1 defender, falling behind here. And then once again, getting hit by the teammate, which then sent it really close to the blast zone and allow that stock to be taken a little early.
And the limit, Reptale is saved and just barely hanging on here. I don't think that's going to be the second limit. Oh, barely just getting on.
Phantom gets a kill, Arm gets another, and probably hang on. It's an even game now.
It mostly just matters down to if 9,000 Hippos is able to get enough percent going without losing stock. And they have to survive in order to help out their teammate here with MinMin. Especially with the last game just not working out when MinMin was alone. So 9,000 Hippos really has to stay alive here, sitting at almost 100%.
Definitely don't want to see that 2v1. Big lightning kick on the cloud.
Another breakup of the scrap thanks to Phantom here. As okay, who's that?
That was 9,000 Hippos going off now. It's once again MinMin versus the world.
And with limit on Reptale, this is not good slot for MinMin.
Waited it out
how
though.
They're playing this.
It's not impossible. The percentages are much more favorable this time around.
Not by too much. There's the missed double jump, and that's going to be it.
That will do it. Agnes and Reptale survive a very close one, game 3 there.
They were able to do some great adaptation after that first game to just really mix up how they were going to deal with the situation of these two players. I think they did a great job at like changing it up and, you know, staying alive and prioritizing, you know, taking out the threats first or in order.